The great outdoors. It's important to unplug, and getting back to nature is a great reset. It can be in the middle of nowhere or your own backyard. You don't have to be super strategic about it, just spend less time on your device and more time outside. Today, I'm talking with Suzi Cruz, who's devoted her life to spending time getting back to nature. Her travels in her van across the globe are inspiring, and she's sharing her best tips on how to bring the outdoors to your life. I'm Gabe here to show you the small shifts that you can make in your life that will lead to a huge impact on your financial future. This is Big Change. Everyone needs a retreat from daily life sometimes, but most of us can't just jet off to paradise every day after work. The next best option? Make a space to get away right outside your door. You can't beat just kicking up your feet and just relaxing in the yard, and you don't have to shell out a ton of money to get there. Plants are one of the cheapest, best ways to get from patio to paradise. Check out my container garden. Basically a mini garden of whatever I want. Bringing more nature into my life is my first small step, but there are tons of people who have managed to live almost their entire lives in the great outdoors. Packing up the necessities and hitting the open road to live your best van life is becoming more and more popular, and I totally see why. The idea of waking up in the mountains and going to sleep by the beach, it energizes me just thinking about it. But I'm not there just yet, which is why I've asked van life expert Suzi Cruz to tell me some of the best ways I can make my outdoor space more inviting right now. Suzi, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to answer all your questions.
So I know you've been traveling for a while now. Is there anything that you thought you would need at the beginning that you ended up ditching?
I think the first plan I had was taking my van from Germany and driving to China. That was my original plan. But then on my way, I did meet people and I might have fallen in love. It doesn't mean that I'm still not eager to go there one day, but this is a little bit on hold and I sort of ditched the plan for now. But I think that's what is life about. You always change, plans change, and you just kind of go with the flow.
Go with the flow. I love it. What are some of your van life must-haves?
When I first started with the van, I was still a student. I was not having a lot of money, so after some time I could add certain things. Toilet or shower, I know I've seen plenty of vans that have all these things installed. Unfortunately, I don't have them yet, but I'm proud of what I've created because it's really all I need. Underneath my stove, I have a water filter. I really actually love it because I'm not buying any plastic, to be honest, and I can go to a lake and just filter the water and it's drinkable, so I really like it. I also have a little fridge. I'm very proud of that one because I didn't have a fridge at the beginning, and now I have a bit more luxury, I would say, even though it's very simple.
That is a really cool setup. I love it. What is it about nature that inspires you?
I think what inspires me the most is just I feel very connected to it. I love the aesthetics, but I also love the silence. I love to get out of the city sometimes and be by myself. But what I like the most is that I can choose any day where I want to go and I can change up my environment if I want to. I can do what I like and still respect it. I love to see those beautiful sights, to just feel so much more connected to our world, I think.
How do you bring nature into your van?
To be honest, I have a lot of fake plants in here. I'm not sure if that's actually contra nature. But I also don't have a green thumb, to be honest. I like to look at nature. I can just basically open my door and nature's just right outdoors.
Well, I totally feel you on that. I've killed quite a few cactuses in my day, so how often do you get to go outside and relax? Is that like a daily thing?
It is, but I think relaxation also comes no matter where you are. It is easy always trying to find happiness outside of yourself, and I catch myself also doing that sometimes. But it does help to sit somewhere, maybe alone on a lake, and you can relax. But it's not something that I do every day because, well, I still sort of have to work in a way, and keeping the van clean and keeping the van organized is also quite a lot of work. From getting ready to cleaning the dishes, probably 1 or 2 hours can pass before I'm even ready to start the day. Everything is really much slower.
How important is decorating the inside of your van?
Personally, for me, decorating is very important. I really enjoy feeling comfortable in my little space, especially in that little space. But I also know it's not as easy as an apartment where you can move furniture around or add constantly maybe some new decoration. So I do have to keep it simple, but I do change little things sometimes, as a new curtain or a fairy light or a new carpet. It's not big changes, or new bedding sheets. It's not a huge change, but it does give me a little bit of a new and fresh feeling inside of the van, because I like changes and I like to come in here and feel comfortable.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's good to just mix things up occasionally and add a new plant or add a new blanket. It just kind of gives like the room a new feel. At least in my house it does, so I definitely agree with that. What is your favorite meal to cook outdoors?
I am a foodie, and I tend to be a bit lazy when I travel alone. I cook very easy stuff, but more in the Asian direction, because I grew up eating a lot of Asian food. So I like to cook noodle soups. They are very fast and very easy. Unless it's summer, then it's just way too hot. But sometimes I even make stews if I feel like it. They take more gas, but I have a tiny little pressure cooker and it cuts the time in half. You just have to be a bit smart, and then you get to cook some really beautiful stews as well. And luckily I'm traveling with a friend, so yeah, and then we just share a nice meal together wherever we are.
Do you have any final words on how getting into nature has kind of affected your life in a positive way?
Nature has a very calming effect on me. And what I noticed, I haven't been to a doctor since I'm ever living here in the van. And I feel overall very healthy, and I don't know if it's the reason because I'm so much in nature and not so often with all the stress that we maybe have with our daily life. So I find myself physically still very active, very healthy, and I never really go through physical sickness.
That's amazing. I totally agree. Like, reconnecting with nature can have a whole host of mental and physical health benefits. Well, Suzi, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciated this talk.
Thank you so much for having me. It was very nice talking to you.
I loved that advice. Adding the things that inspire you to your outdoor setup can make it feel like a personal oasis. Flowers that attract butterflies and other pollinators, Zen wind chimes, bird baths, a nice shady umbrella, outdoor rugs, pergolas. You can really go anywhere with it. Suzi's food talk got me thinking about how important mealtime can be when you integrate food with outdoor life. You don't need to whip up an entire outdoor kitchen, but you can't go wrong with a grill. Just make sure it's the right size. Charcoal or propane, that's really up to you. You can get even more back to nature than a grill by putting together a fire pit or fire tray in winter months. Share stories, drink cocoa, maybe even roast a marshmallow or two. Just like Suzi, I really want to take some time to live my life a little more out in the open. Now, I'm not ready for van life just yet, but I'm definitely going to try to disconnect more. I think I'm going to institute no screen Saturdays, where I spend as much time as possible outside and away from, you guessed it, screens. Just me and the great outdoors. No devices required. Your first simple step, if you want, you can join me on No Screen Saturdays. And if you're ready to take things to the next level and you want a backyard oasis or just no neighbors for miles, Rocket Homes is a great place to start your home buying journey. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more big change, you can click right over there somewhere, and you can also subscribe down below so you never miss a future episode.